So Apple's awe-dropping event happened a couple days ago, and the phones that kind of stole the show were of course the iPhone Air because it's a new product category and ultra slim and thin and aesthetically very pleasing to look at. And then you have the Pro model iPhones, which also stole the show with their brand new camera array, the 48 megapixel shooters across the board, how much battery life it has, and again, it's just everything that Apple wanted in a Pro phone is now the epitome of what the 17 Pro and Pro Max are. But the one product that really went under the radar that I think is going to be the most underrated product of 2025 and 2026 for Apple has to be the regular iPhone 17. It got an abundance of great quality of life upgrades without increasing the price whatsoever, and it's now pretty much a flagship level phone at that entry level price point. So let's talk all things iPhone 17 and why I think it's the best product Apple released during their keynote. But before we continue, if you enjoy videos like this one, consider subscribing to the channel because it helps motivate us to make more breakdowns like this to keep you guys well informed. But now let's talk about what's new with the iPhone 17. So like I said, the iPhone 17 year over year probably has the biggest leap out of any of the iPhones. First and foremost, the display. The display is one of the things that separated the regular iPhone from being a Pro level iPhone. So the first thing we're going to get is a 6.3 inch OLED display, which is a little bit larger than last year's model. The iPhone 16 was 6.1 inches. This one is 6.3, which puts it right on par with the regular iPhone 17 Pro and the iPhone 16 Pro in terms of display size. But the biggest thing here is that it now has a full LTPO 120Hz ProMotion display. This was one of the biggest separators and one of the biggest reasons why I guess the people who are very into tech and very into display tech didn't want to gravitate to the iPhone 16 regular, because once you try a ProMotion display, it is so difficult to go back because everything just feels twice as slow, unfortunately. But now ProMotion is now on the regular iPhone. It's the first time we've gotten a Pro level feature on the iPhone in the entry-level iPhone. And what this also unlocks is an always-on display, because it can now go from 120 Hz down to 1 Hz. So if you do lock your phone, you now have the ability to have your always-on display because it's not wasting any battery or a very minimal amount of battery when you keep it at 1 Hz and keep the always-on display on. The display also got brighter, going from 2000 nits of brightness to 3000 nits of brightness, so in peak sunlight it's going to be even easier to see. And we got the Ceramic Shield 2, which is 3 times better scratch resistance and giving you that new 7-layer anti-reflective coating that's built onto the iPhone. Again, just quality of life upgrades that make this an even better value play overall. But if that Ceramic Shield isn't enough for you, our sponsor ESR has everything that you're going to need to make sure your iPhone 17 stays protected. So quick word from them before we continue. So if you just picked up one of Apple's brand new iPhones, whether it's the regular 17, the brand new iPhone Air, or the 17 Pro and Pro Max, ESR's got you covered literally, starting off with the brand new Cyber Series Stash stand case, which has everything you would need out of any case for your new iPhone. They have versions for all the iPhones from the regular 17 all the way to the 17 Pro and Pro Max lineup, giving you 7x military grade drop protection, a built-in stash stand that doubles as a camera protection, and full support for Apple's new camera control gestures, plus a stronger MagSafe lock to make sure your charging and accessories stay locked in. They're the perfect blend of protection, durability, as well as functionality with their built-in kickstand. So ESR's brand new Corning glass screen protector is 10 times stronger than the generic glass, and it's more scratch resistant, fingerprint resistant, and designed with anti-reflective clarity, so your iPhone 17 display stays sharp even during sunlight, and it also brings out ultra fit tray, making it extremely simple to install and put together. And then you have ESR's brand new Cryo Boost 3-in-1 charger, which supports Qi 2.2, giving us a full 25 watts of MagSafe wireless charging to your iPhones. And of course, this is a 3-in-1 charger, so it charges your iPhone, your Apple Watch, as well as AirPods. And the Cryo Boost functionality is amazing because it keeps your iPhone cool to the touch, making sure you get the most sustained power of the 25 watts to fully charge your iPhone as quickly as possible. So big shout out to ESR for partnering up with 9to5Mac on a video, because it helps us make more content like this. All the links will be down in the description below. Definitely check them out if you are picking up one of the new iPhones. But now, back to the iPhone 17. So now, from a performance standpoint, you're getting the brand new A19 chip. Now, this is the only iPhone in the new 17 lineup of phones that doesn't have the A19 Pro, but it's still a powerhouse, especially compared to last year's, because of two main things. First and foremost, the A19 chip is still a 3nm powerhouse, and it has that updated neural engine, and also the RAM management got much better this time around, which makes it a lot more efficient for battery life especially, which we'll touch on in a second. But the biggest positive that comes out of this is going to be battery life. Compared to the iPhone 16 of last year, the iPhone 17 is getting 8 more hours of video playback time, which is Apple's weird unit of measure for battery life because they don't want to give us a milliamp hours or screen on time and things like that. But you're getting 8 more hours of battery life compared to last year, which is a huge bump in battery life for a phone that already did great when it comes to battery life. And then the camera's got a huge update as well. We still have the same 2 different camera sensors on the rear. You still have your main and your 2x telephoto quality crop, so that's going to be the main wide angle camera that can then crop in 2x optically, which is just a crop. But the biggest one, especially the one that I think most iPhone regular users are going to, I guess, really enjoy, is the new selfie camera. Because I think it was genius what Apple did, and I'm glad that they're doing it even on the regular iPhone 17. So first and foremost, they updated it from a 12 megapixel shooter to an 18 megapixel shooter. And instead of being a 3x2 sensor, it is now a 1x1 sensor. Now, of course, this is just jargon for saying that you no longer have to hold your phone physically in the right orientation to get whatever oriented type of photo you want. So previously, if you wanted to take a selfie in landscape mode, you had to turn your phone into that landscape orientation. But now, with this 1x1 sensor, you can do this automatically when you're still holding the phone in portrait mode. So if you do have it in portrait orientation, you can still take your portrait level photos, but then also take your landscape level photos without having to physically turn the phone, which is going to make it much easier to take selfies. It's a wider lens as well, so you can fit more people into that wide angle lens, which is great to see. And it's just a much more comfortable hold in the hand, whereas if you do hold it in landscape, it's a little bit harder, and a lot of people don't like to do that when it comes to selfie photos. But now, with over 500 billion selfie photos that we took last year, according to Apple, it's going to be much easier and much simpler to do that. And then we also got a new 17 exclusive feature, which is going to be the dual camera situation, so you can have a dual camera video feed when you are recording. You can record on the rear camera, and then you can also record on the front camera, which is great to see if you do want to actually record two-tone when you are recording in video. And the final thing I wanted to bring up when it comes to the iPhone 17, it's not really a new feature or anything like that, but the colors. We have 5 new colors for the iPhone 17, and what I like about it is that they're way more saturated than they used to be, so the colors are actually going to look like the colors. So we of course have the black colorway, and then the white/silver colorway, but now we have a lavender color, which is great. We have the new sage color, which is this green light color, and then finally we have the mist blue color. The one that I like the most is that lavender. It kind of looks like lilac a little bit, but I'm just glad that they actually look like the actual color, and it's not just like a weird tiny little hue or tint that when you shine it in the correct lighting, it'll look like that color. So that's always a positive for the people that want to have different colored iPhones. So at the end of the day, why do I think this is the best iPhone for 99% of people? Because first off, year over year, this to me has the biggest upgrade, at least from functionality purposes. Maybe not from a look standpoint, because it pretty much looks the same. I mean, if you hold them side by side, you can see that one is bigger than the other when you compare the 16 to the 17. But from the rear, they look pretty much identical with the same camera array, the same camera layout, the same dynamic island on the front. All the things that are happening are internally, but they're functional differences that most people will be able to take into account and use moving forward. So again, they narrowed that display parity between the Pro and the regular phone by giving us 120Hz ProMotion display with that always-on display and the added brightness. You have a camera system that's good enough for nearly everybody that's going to be using it, with huge improvements to the selfies, as well as that 48 megapixel ultra-wide, which I know a lot of people are going to enjoy. Then you have the performance side of it. The A19 chip will be able to handle pretty much anything that you throw at it, from gaming to surfing the web to Netflix and content consumption to creating as well to video recording. That A19 chip is going to zoom with no issues whatsoever, especially on this iPhone. And then you have the battery life, which is, again, Apple some way somehow improved the battery life, giving us an additional 8 hours of playback time when it comes to video consumption. And you have the new fast charging, which charges 50% in just 20 minutes when you use the correct power adapter. They added some additional durability with their Ceramic Shield version 2, but again, I think 85% of people here in the US wear a case, so definitely check out ESR again, who sponsored this video. Links will be down below for you guys to check out. And then finally, the main value play here is that it starts at the same price at $799 that it started at last year, at double the storage. So you get double the storage, way better display tech, way better cameras, you get much better durability on this thing, and you get the new A19 all for the same price. That to me is a no-brainer for anybody looking to upgrade their new iPhone. And then again, most people who do upgrade to this phone are coming from a much older iPhone, so they're going to see a huge leap forward in all the new gains from both performance, hardware, and everything in between. I did want to put a little section here on who should not buy this. The people that shouldn't buy this are probably the people that are just a little bit more in the Pro world, where they need an 8x telephoto zoom lens from the Pro models, or they have some ProRes or RAW workflows when they are using their iPhones and things like that, or if they do need that USB-C 3.0 speed, which the iPhone 17 does not have. But outside of that, most people, I'm going to recommend go out there and get yourself an iPhone 17, because it's the best value Apple's ever had. But that will just about do for this video, everybody. Like you saw, I think the iPhone 17 is going to be the most underrated, underappreciated, and just underspoken about iPhone, because Apple just didn't market it as well as the iPhone Air and the iPhone Pro models. But like I said, you're getting great year-over-year updates, and I just think it's going to be the phone for 99% of people. So let me know in the comment down below. Are you pre-ordering one of these? Pre-orders do start Friday the 12th at 8 a.m. Eastern, and people will be getting these the next Friday the 19th, whenever you get them shipped to you. But that'll do it, everybody. If you made it to the end, leave a little dolphin in the comments down below so I know you made it to the end. Check out ESR below. Shout out to them for sponsoring this video. And if you guys want to watch more videos like this one, like which Apple Watch you should get, click on one of these right here. And until next time, I'm Fernando. Peace. I did test out the new MagSafe battery from Apple. It does not fit on the regular iPhone 16, so it's not going to fit on the regular iPhone 17. The more you know.